Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Estee McCrawly coming with another video. Today we got some more double battles here on the battle spot using the Mega Camerupt team that I built a while back, like last week. First battle we have today is against Dorian, and this one is against a rain team. And as I'm sure you'd probably know, my team doesn't do very well in the rain since I do have a Mega Camerupt. Granted, I also have an Escavalier, who I guess in that case against a rain team most likely will not take any super effective damage, since a rain team is most likely not going to carry a fire type Pokemon. So that is a plus. But my opponent was rocking a team of Politoed, Kingdra, Rotom Wash, Gyarados, Milotic, and Ludicolo. So it was actually a mono water type. He was probably going for that, a mono water type. And immediately when I see the Gyarados, or the Gyarados is the only Mega Evolution possibility, but I think if I can hit it with Lantern with an electric type move before it Mega Evolves, it's probably going to faint immediately. So no need for, like, these are the 4 Pokemon that I bring. They're the ones that don't have weaknesses to water type moves, so that's kind of why I bring them. My opponent, most rain teams, or you see the Ludicolo usually has Swift Swim. I see the Kingdra and that kind of scares me. My knowledge of Kingdra's moveset is pretty low, but I know it can... well, I guess it depends as well, but I know you can get up to like a 100% crit chance and just teach it Draco Meteor, and Draco, and since it'll be a crit, the special attack drop won't matter at all. But I think that's with its ability Super Luck. I think it gets access to that. So on the rain team, it'll most likely have Swift Swim, but it could still do some damage to my team. So, luckily I do have Togekiss, which will... Kingdra only has 2 uses, Dragon and Fairy. So, Togekiss will be highly important if we see that Kingdra. And we see he actually leads with Kingdra, which isn't what I was expecting. I was expecting the typical Politoed Ludicolo lead. So with both these Pokemon, I'd be able to hit the Ludicolo for a super effective stab. But the Kingdra is actually better, since what do you know I have at my Togekiss? And he goes straight for the Iron Head. So he's going to take the Rocky Helmet recoil, and he's actually Life Orb. So luckily I don't flinch. I'm like, please don't flinch, please don't flinch. And we get the Dazzling Gleam. So that's going to be an easy knockout on the Kingdra. We get the crit. I highly doubt it mattered. And that's going to be a huge turn 1 knockout. We see he has Icy Wind. So that's going to be his speed control, which means it's most likely going to be more support Politoed. Politoed's quite a versatile Pokemon. It gets access to some sweet moves. It can get access to Hypnosis, to Encore. So it can be slower and bulkier. It can be more offensive and carry and have a Choice Scarf. But this one, no. So he brings in the Ludicolo and goes straight for the Fake Out, which is a pretty decent play. But that just gives me a free Air Slash onto the Ludicolo. I mean, obviously he didn't want to take the Rocky Helmet damage, and Escavalier can do more damage than a Togekiss. So he gets this. So Togekiss is going down here, but I'm fine with that. The main thing I needed it for was the Ludicolo and the Kingdra. And the Ludicolo is already low. The Kingdra's already dead. So Togekiss did really, really well. And he goes to the Scald, and I get burned, but I'm going to eat up that Lumberry. So I really like the Lumberry on Escavalier. I feel like it's a really good move. He seems to get hit with a lot of status-inflicting moves. So it's going to be a fainted Ludicolo. So we've already taken out like 2 of his offensive Pokemon. And so we see the last one's Milotic. And this could be a problem, since all in all, there's just a lot that could go on here. There's a lot that could go on. So we do see he does focus down the Escavalier, which is what I was expecting. I do the same thing. Especially when people see Musharna, a lot of people don't know too much about Musharna. And so it's just going to be a free Trick Room for me. And I know I can knock out this Politoed. So that's what I go for, since there's not going to be any switching. So just going to be the knockout. And at this point, it's Milotic versus my 3 Pokemon. And he actually has Mirko. I wasn't expecting that. So that did quite a... well, I did about a quarter of my health. So not too bad. But at this point, Escavalier's in position to finish him off, and if not, I have Lantern in the back, and I highly doubt this thing will have anything besides water and ice type moves. So we do see the Scald. Brings me down to 2 HP and burns. I'm okay with that. Obviously, it's just a free switch in for me to what most likely, or to here. There's no reason not to bring in Lantern. So that's my last Pokemon. So now it's a 2v1, and I just here not much to talk about. I mean, it's just over. Like I've said in the team builder video, I wanted to put I wanted to put telepathy on my Musharna, but I forgot to do it when I made this team. So instead of just getting a new Musharna, I'm like, well, I'll just leave it. It's synchronized, because the thing, like if he would have gone for, if his Milotic went for Scald on the me and burned me, then I would have just got the synchronize off. That would have been a nice burn. But it also would have been nice to get a discharge off there. But no complaints. It's all good. So that one, a little bit of luck, but also at the same time, it was more like the team composition of my opponent, to where having a mono type team is pretty difficult. In his case, it was an all water. I don't really have anything to hit water Pokemon too hard with, but it was more the secondary types. Like he had Dragon, he had Grass, so Escavalier and Togekiss, I was able to take advantage of them and use them quite a bit in that one. So we're going to go ahead and move straight into this next battle. And here we're going to see another Suicune. If you guys watched my last video, we played against a Suicune, and I said I don't really like it too much. We have a team of Kangaskhan, Arcanine, Aegislash, Landorus, Therian, Thundurus, Incarnate, and Suicune. So a pretty powerful team, to be honest. The Mega Kangaskhan's always a little bit intimidating. The thing, you just gotta know how to deal with it properly. A lot of people say it's overpowered. It's strong, but I think it came out in 2013 with Pokemon X and Y. In the 2014, 15, and 16 World Championships, I think the World Champion team, only one of the 3 World Champion teams had Mega Kangaskhan. A lot of them carry, or Mega Gardevoir is popular. This past year, in VGC 2016, the winning team didn't have one. He had Mega Gengar instead. So you just gotta know how to deal with it properly. I feel like Mega Gengar can deal with Mega Kangaskhan pretty well. Here, the Camerupt is actually a really good option. Well, Camerupt and Escavalier are pretty good options, but the Escavalier can't hit anything on his team for super effective damage, and he does have the Arcanine, which can't hit me for super effective damage. So I decided not to bring it. The Camerupt here will hit the Aegislash and Arcanine for super effective damage, but it's more like against a Thundurus and against Kangaskhan, I can go for a Heat Wave, and it's most likely going to be a 2-hit KO. So it's still a strong option here. Togekiss, not really. He doesn't have any dragons, so not much it's going to be able to do. He does have quite a few. Like most of those Pokemon are single target attackers. The Landorus might have Rock Slide or Earthquake, but Kangaskhan usually single attacker. Arcanine, yes. Suicune can have Snarl. I don't know. Some of them might even run Surf if they want to, but Togekiss would be a good option here, but just for the redirection more than anything, which isn't really that needed if I can get up the Trick Room. So we're gonna get started. I just lead with I'd say my pretty typical lead, Musharna Camerupt, and he goes Kangaskhan Thundurus, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting the Kangaskhan, but I wasn't expecting the Thundurus. I was thinking about leading Landorus into the Kangaskhan, but he might lead the Thundurus instead of the Kangaskhan, and they usually carry Hidden Power Ice. So we just both go Mega Evolution here, and we're still in a good position since the thing is, I don't know if this Thundurus is going to carry Taunt, but he actually goes for Swagger, which is usually run over Taunt. So it's just going to be the 50% chance to not set up the Trick Room. My attack isn't very high, so if I hit myself, I'm not going to take that much damage. We see he just goes straight for the frustration. He might have thought that he'd be able to one-hit KO me, but I'm pretty bulky, especially that Trick Room variant, since I got max HP investment. And you see how much damage it did to both of those bad boys right there. So one more would be enough to pick up the double knockout. That's why, even though I don't hit him for super effective damages, my base special attack, stab, my ability does a lot of damage to these two. So I end up going for the protect. He goes for Thunderbolt. It doesn't do all that much damage, and he does Life Orb, so he is the more offensive variant of the Thunderous, which is what you'd expect when you see the Suicune and the Aegislash on his team. So here I am not confused. I do not hit myself in confusion, or I am confused, but I do not hit myself in confusion. And I set up the Trick Room, which is going to be fantastic. The only problem now I have is if this Kangaskhan has Sucker Punch, he might be able to knock me out. So I switch into my Landers here, expecting him to Sucker Punch that slot. This is going to do a lot for him. It's going to get me the Intimidate. And if he goes for Sucker Punch, he's not going to do anything. And if this Landers probably isn't gonna, or this Thunderous probably isn't gonna attack me in that slot, so it's a hidden power ice, but I mean that's not really gonna do too much for him. So he actually switches out into his Arcanine. So the switch, I was actually thinking about going for an Earth Power into the Kangaskhan slot. I was like, oh, I wish I would have done that. But sure enough, he goes for Swagger. So now I'm at +1 attack after the Intimidate, and so if I stayed in, I went for an Earth Power into the Kangaskhan slot, and I broke through the confusion, that would have been a nice knockout onto the Arcanine. But Thunderous is going to go down to my Psychic, and the thing, it wasn't doing too much, but with me switching in Landorus this turn, I wanted to make sure that he wouldn't be able to hit me with a Hidden Power Ice. And at this point, I was expecting him, I was like, he's probably going to fake out the Landorus. Everyone's always scared of the Landorus. And so it's going to break my Focus Sash, but I do get the Reflect off, which is what I wanted. Because now when I bring in my Camerupt, I'll be able to handle these two Pokemon a bit better. We just see the Flare Blitz as well. And after the Reflect, that's not going to be enough to knock me out. Even without Reflect, it's hard to say if it would have been enough. So I'm in a really good spot here. The thing is, I have to prioritize what I want to take out. If I want to go for a Rock Slide or if I want to go for a Superpower. He has Extreme Speed, which can be a little bit of a problem. But I get a Psychic off, and luckily I break through Confusion. I get the Superpower off on Kangaskhan. So it's going to be a knockout. It's going to be a really important knockout, since Mega Kangaskhan is a bit of a threat. So far from what we've seen, this Arcanine has Flare Blitz and Extreme Speed, which won't do that much damage to my Camerupt. So if I bring it in, this Arcanine is not going to be able to take it out. So I have to see what his other Pokemon is. And sure enough, it is Suicune. So a bit of a problem for Camerupt. So what I'd have to decide here is which Pokemon I want to try and focus. Because while Suicune, yes, can hit me for super effective damage and knock out the Camerupt, I still have to think about whether or not, because if I want to pick up that knockout on this Arcanine anyways, because it's not going to be a switch for him, it's just going to be a knockout. And so I go for a Psychic there, and then I was like, I'm just going to go for the Rock Slide, just because there's no point in switching. I don't need Landorus anymore. So here the Synchronize actually comes in handy. I've said that sometimes it's not really as good, since a lot of Poison-type Pokemon use Psychic, or a lot of Poison-type Pokemon use Toxic, a lot of Fire-type Pokemon use Will-O-Wisp, a lot of Electric-type Pokemon use Thunder Wave, so Synchronize doesn't affect them. But here, it actually helps. So I didn't bring in Camerupt here, just because I wanted to try and take out one of his Pokemon, try and do some damage at first. So he actually goes for Snarl here and Close Combat. I'm not sure how I feel about that play. I mean, it's like you either like the Snarl. I don't know. It's like either the Close Combat's gonna knock me out, or the Snarl's gonna protect you. It's like you can't bank on, or like go for both and bank on one, because that's just, especially when you're down like this. I mean, there wasn't much he could do anyways. Maybe he could have. I feel like it would have been better for him to Flare Blitz, Scald, and Musharna SWAT and try and take it out so that it couldn't set up the Trick Room. Because without Trick Room, Camerupt would have been useless. And the Lantern, yes, would have given him some problems. I'm not going to deny that. This Suicune probably only had an Ice type move and a Water type move. So I would have been immune to Water type moves. He might have even gone for one since it would have been a little bit stronger and then given me 25% HP. But you never know. Still a pretty good team by my opponent. I enjoyed that battle. I felt like I played pretty well. It turns out, if his Kangaskhan did have Sucker Punch, he never went for it. So I could have potentially just picked up a free knockout on that Arcanine. Well, depending on confusion and stuff like that. But that's pretty much going to be it. Hope you guys have been enjoying these. This is probably going to be my last battles with this team. Maybe one more day, I'm not sure. But I'm going to be building a new team, so if you had any suggestions or requests for me about a certain Pokemon or a certain style, like I don't know, like a Hail team or whatever, or you want a team based on a certain Mega, or based around a certain Mega, you can go ahead and let me know. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.